I didn't know how to feel because I didn't really know what a brain tumour was. When I was having my radiotherapy, I met a friend at the QE called Robert Harley. He became very ill. I said to Mum that something needed to be done. So I decided to raise money, and I just decided to make bracelets, and it just got huge.
Hi, I'm Foxy, this is Giuliano.
Oh yeah.
And some of you guys may have seen these before. These are Harry's bracelets. And we're at a house on the outskirts of Birmingham now to talk about one really brave boy called Harry Moseley. Let's go inside and find out more.
Hiya.
Hi, you all right?
Yeah, nice to meet you. Come on in.
Georgina, thank you very much for having us in your beautiful home
Thank you.
today. I know it's going to be very difficult to talk about this, but hopefully by the end of this, people watching might sign up for something which is going to be an amazing day.
I hope so. It makes it worth it then.
When you think of Harry, what's the first thing you think of?
Joy. Absolute joy. Laughter. Inspiration. I can't sum it all up in one word.
What was Harry's dream?
To help find a cure for brain cancer.
So, Harry was diagnosed at the age of 7.
Yes. Well, Harry had a brain tumour, which is a lump basically in his brain that, and obviously it was cancerous, and it just shouldn't have been there. You know, worst possible place. I think you can. Every cancer's terrible, but to have it in your brain controls everything in your body. So.
How did you feel when you found out?
Heartbroken. You know, it's as a mum, you just feel so helpless. You know, when your child is diagnosed with any terrible illness. You know, it's. You can't do anything, and not just do anything to swap places, but you can't. All you can do is be there, and that just doesn't seem enough somehow.
Now, obviously, Harry's campaign has become very well known nationwide, but
Yeah.
our aim today is to get as many people who are watching this to sign up for the Walk for Harry.
Yeah.
What did it mean to him to have so many people? Did he understand how many people connected with his campaign?
Not at all. Harry didn't. You know, he put the last 2 years of his life into help Harry help others, and he didn't want people to go through what he did. And even though I watched him, I couldn't understand because I've never had cancer, so only Harry knew. And he was just so compassionate towards others. And when he started it wasn't because he had got a brain tumour, it was because of a friend that he'd met, and he just thought, I've got to do something positive. And that is what Harry was, just positivity.
You talk about his friend was Robert.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about Robert and the relationship they had together.
Yeah, Harry met Robert at the QE whilst Harry was having 6 weeks of radiotherapy every day. And Robert was there too. He got a brain tumour. They literally just became friends, got talking. They stayed in touch, and a couple of years later, in 2009, Harry heard that Robert was really, really sick from his brain tumour. He insisted on going to see him in hospital, and we took him. And he came away and he just said, I've got to do something. I've got to help make Robert better. And hence bracelets. And for the next 2 years, he just ploughed his life into it. And everywhere he could be to raise money or raise awareness even, you know, for other brain cancer charities, Harry would give up his time and do that. And I think anybody that ever met Harry, you know, including the lovely Tom Ross, when he went on the radio, they just were blown away, not just by what Harry was doing, but his personality and his just love of life, really. He was just so happy.
Well, I first got to know Harry through Ian Taylor, the former Aston Villa footballer, and Michael Johnson, the former Birmingham City player. He was the cheekiest, most lovable little lad I've met for ages. And he came in and he gave me a tough time in the interview, I've got to tell you.
Now, Harry, tell us about your illness, first of all.
Well, my illness is a brain tumour.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a polycystic astrocytoma.
No.
And it's in my hypothalamus.
I bet you couldn't spell it.
IT.
I'm going to have him. I'm telling you, I'm having him before the day's out.
This is where everything happened. You can see we've got all Harry's beads laid out, all his press articles, you know, copies of cheques and certificates for all the money that he's raised, and it was just Harry's little den. It's, you know, the Harley house, it meant a lot to him.
So he's sat in here
Yeah,
for hours making the beads.
Yeah, it's his production, it's his office, you know, everything went from here, so...
Do you just spend time in here on your own sometimes?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because it's just Harry's place, yeah.
Do you feel closer to him like that?
Yeah, well, you know, I just think it's all I've got left of Harry now, really, so...
He just captured me. He became an inspiration to me from that moment. And I thought all the whinging and wailing that we all do, got a headache, don't feel all right. This young lad had got this life-threatening illness, and all he wanted to do was help others.
After going on the radio last year on BR&B with Tom Ross, he said, "Mum," he said, "I've got to write off. I want the walkathon to be for my campaign, so we can help, you know, people in Birmingham." And that's why, you know, yes, it's very soon after Harry's passing, but it's his biggest dream, and why should that not happen just because Harry's not here?
Some of the money that will be raised from the Walk for Harry will go to the Children's Hospital, and specifically research into brain cancer.
Yes.
Some of the other money will go to Acorns.
Yes.
And just explain why Acorns is so important to you.
Acorns, you know, I'd heard a lot about them, but never really had an insight as to what they did and just how wonderful, you know, they are. 2 weeks before Harry died, you know, we were hoping that Acorns would have been the place that Harry would have gone on a weekly basis to have showers, and because our home wasn't suitable.
It's something that neither of us realised until we went to the Acorns Hospice.
It's a remarkable place, yeah.
That they don't just look after children who are in treatment at the moment and need help.
Yeah.
That there are these specific rooms
Yes.
where even if your child is dead,
Yeah.
that you get to spend time with them.
Yeah. It's a hard thing, like now, we can't touch Harry and love him and kiss him anymore, you know, but when he was there, we could just, that was our time, you know, when he hadn't got machines down his throat and wires everywhere, and it was just our time to say goodbye, I suppose, and it is just so important, because until those curtains close at the funeral, you've still got your baby, you know, whether he's dead or alive, and to me it meant the world.
What would you say to people right now, they're watching it and they're umming and ahhing about doing it? Why should they get involved? Why should they walk for Harry?
To everybody out there, you know, that's watching this, 4 years ago, all I can say is my family was like every working class family out there in Birmingham and the West Midlands. We had our own little routine, our own life, you know, both at work, and suddenly we always thought it wouldn't happen to us, and just like that, our world got shattered, and we really relied on the services of the Children's Hospital and Acorns. And what I would say is, if you've already been touched by those places and used them, you're bound to straight away do the walkathon. But together, a message that Harry's taught everybody is that we have to unite together. Harry was born and bred in Brum, and we all have to unite and look after the services within Brum, because you just never ever know when you're going to need those services, and I really hope that people never ever do, but they are there, they are amazing, and we just need to unite and look after our own.
Thank you very much for having us in your house and your home, and thank you very much for being so brave to talk about it.